When your child is digging their heels in, meeting them with more seriousness just gives you to the perfect positioning for a power struggle. Two activated nervous systems staring each other down, seeing who will bend first. I'm Amy, a former special educator turned homeschool mom, and I help homeschool parents of kids with big behaviors understand what's really driving those behaviors so they can create calmer days and more cooperation at home. We've talked this week about play as development, connection, and even why playfulness can be difficult for us as adults. But there's another reason why play needs to be given a front row seat when interacting with your children. Play gives you access to a child that direct instruction simply just doesn't have in that moment. When a child is already feeling resistant, overwhelmed, or frustrated, or stuck, adding more pressure can increase that resistance. You can repeat the direction more firmly, you can explain why they need to do it, you can remind them for the 5th time that you've already asked them to do it, and sometimes you're watching their nervous system move farther away from cooperation with every attempt you make. Playfulness can change the emotional tone of that interaction. Maybe your child is whining about having to get dressed, and instead of turning it into another power struggle, the pants suddenly have a ridiculous voice and are deeply offended that nobody wants to wear them. Maybe cleanup has completely stalled, so you announce that you're pretty sure you can put away 5 things before your child can put away 3. Or your child is stuck after making a mistake during a lesson, and instead of immediately trying to reason them back into working, you just introduce a little humor, some movement, or some silliness that helps break that tension before you come back to the problem. You're still the parent. The expectation hasn't changed. What you've changed is the way you are approaching your child. And this is where playfulness is especially useful with kids who tend to push back against demands. If your child hears almost every direction as pressure, adding more authority or more explanation or more insistence can easily turn that small request into a battle over their autonomy. So play gives you another way into the interaction. It can lower the intensity of the demand, invite your child back into social engagement with you, and create enough flexibility for the two of you to move forward together. That doesn't mean you have to turn every boundary into a game. Sometimes your child isn't receptive to play at all, and trying to be silly when they're genuinely distressed can feel really dismissive or irritating. So you still have to pay attention to the child in front of you and what their nervous system is communicating. But in general, play can interrupt a pattern that has become overly serious and adversarial. And you get to engage your child in a way that they respond to play, whatever that may look like. And I saw this over and over again when I was teaching. The children who struggled the most weren't necessarily reached by becoming more authoritative or by repeating myself more firmly, but instead the relationship, the humor, the creativity, and play gave me a way to connect with them so that I could teach them and reach them. And this is also true in parenting. Sometimes the most effective thing you can do in a stuck moment is stop pushing against the resistance and look for another way into that relationship. Share this with a homeschool friend who might need the reminder, and follow along for more support homeschooling kids with big behaviors.